Hey, couch potatoes. Welcome to another episode of On the Sofa with me, your girl, Lil Sonya. Come in, take a seat, and let's get the conversation started.
Hey, couch potatoes. Welcome to another episode of On the Sofa with your girl, me, Lil Sonya. And tonight we have Mr. Terry Beard in the building. Hey, Terry, thanks for joining us on the sofa this evening.
Good evening. I'm sorry. The couch,
What's so
the couch
funny?
potato thing. The couch potato thing just smacked me. I was like, that's really that. I like that. I was like, wait a minute. No, yeah. So I'm sorry. It was cute. I loved it. It was like couch potato. I like that. Sweet. I like that.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Terry. Listen, Terry has had me laughing since introduction, you guys. So this should be a fun evening. So, Terry,
Yeah.
I like to open up and ask my guests to choose a number no greater than their current age and let the audience know when you've chosen.
Okay.
What's your number?
I've chosen. My number is 50.
That's the number you're choosing tonight?
Hmm.
Okay.
It is.
Now, Terry, tell me, how does 50-year-old Terry tie into the Terry that's sitting on the sofa tonight? Tell us a little bit about
Oh,
50-year-old Terry.
oh wow. That's a very good question. That's my wife that's
Hi,
talking over there.
wifey.
Hello, beautiful.
Thank you.
I did bring you in. So yeah, uh, the 50-year-old Terry has been through a traumatic accident. I suffered from trauma from that. I got in an accident at 52, and I started Evolve Gear when I was 50.
Mm.
And I've gone through rehabilitation. I've gone through lawsuits and litigation to settle my case. Um, it was the other person's fault with the accident. I had trouble walking. I had trouble using my right hand. I had a
Mm.
concussion. I had rib problems. I had to shutter my business. Um, it happened right when we had purchased a home. We had just signed the paperwork for our house to be sold.
Oh,
And
wow.
then I got in that wreck, so I had to go to work injured. It was such a struggle. And I tell you, looking back at it now, I wouldn't wish that on anybody,
Yeah.
but it did bring me to where I am today. Because and Sonya, if I may call you that,
Yes.
um, that let me know that I wasn't supposed to die.
Mm.
And I knew that God wasn't done with me yet. And I said, okay, because from what the police said, my doctor said, and the ambulance personnel said, I should have never gotten out of that car. The way that
Oh,
car looked,
wow.
nobody should have got out of that car. I took my wife to the salvage yard because we had to get stuff out of there. And Sonya, I didn't even realize that I had my glasses on when that airbag hit. I had one of my lenses was missing. I was like, well, where's my lens? And then I said, well, shoot, that could have ended up in my eye.
Yeah.
And then my wife saw the interior of the car. There's blood all over, and she said, "How?" And I had a broken rib, Sonya. I didn't even know that I had a broken rib because I was trying to get out the car, and I had to shut the car off. I got that lesson from my father, and so that was traumatic. And so every day I go to work, I got to pass through that intersection. I still
Ah.
live it every day. And so I
Yeah.
always go back to that. And so now, Sonya, when I go through something, I'm being just as honest and as transparent as I can possibly be. It seems so small
Mm,
compared to that.
yeah.
And not saying it doesn't affect you or me. I'm saying that what I went through, with dealing with the accident and then dealing with the litigation, fighting the insurance companies. And now when I go through something, it just seems very minuscule compared to that. And things don't things don't bother me like they used to. They do eat at me still, but not with that magnitude, you
Yeah.
know. And I know that God has had his hand on me. I know people have been in lesser accidents and not walked away.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the guy that's sitting here today, 6 years, I've learned a lot, and I'm more patient now. Um, I'm more aware of what I'm doing in business now, and the things that I'm trying to do, uh, I'm making sure that that's unbreakable, so
Yeah.
that it can continue on. And so when I started Evolve Gear, I was just starting out, and I was just trying to expand, and then that happened. So there's just so many things, and I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but that's just one of them. And I hope that um me sharing that helps somebody else in their own experience. And of course, everything isn't cookie cutter. Nobody's saying you're not going to feel effects of things. Um, but it's how you walk past the finish line, you
Yeah.
know. That's basically it as far as that goes. Yeah. Mhm.
I applaud you for finding beauty in your suffering, so to speak. And
Oh,
out of
yeah.
it, you birthed a brand. Can we talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that?
Sure we can. So so I was guess where I was at on the when I seen I was on the couch.
On the
That's a good
sofa.
one. I was on the couch. I was on the sofa, and I'm just saying this. It happened. It was global, and I come from Great Depression era parents. My
Okay.
parents were born in the 30s,
Okay.
and the racism that they told my mom and dad told me about. My wife's family's from Alabama, and her family was there when that church got bombed.
Oh,
They were
wow.
there. They said they were 2 miles away, and they said they felt it. And we just went there this last year. We just went there. She hadn't been back in 50 years. So that's another story. And I got to go in there. Oh,
Oh, I bet the
anyway, sorry.
energy was just had your adrenaline rushing.
Sis, sis, sis. I just kept saying, I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you're about to
I
make me cry.
Sister, they had to walk me out of there. They had my wife took one arm, her cousin took the other arm, and they had to just gently. I was getting so angry,
Yeah.
and I said, "Okay, so where did this happen?" They said, "You're standing in the spot where it happened." I said, "Okay, I gotta go. I can't be in here. It's the evil, the
Yeah.
evil from that." And so when I saw that incident, and this is just one of the things, when I saw that incident in Alabama where they had that incident where those people were telling that black security guard, well, we're going to park our boat here and there's nothing you can do about it. And they started jumping on him. And that brother grabbed that chair and he reached back. When I saw that chair touch his back, I said, uh-oh, that's when they mean it.
Yeah, he had enough. He was broken then. He was ready to break and he was
This
broken. Yeah.
sis. And then I seen that young cat jump in the water. They was calling him Aquaman. That
Yeah.
young brother that was jumping in the water to help him. I said, now see, there would have been a time where we wouldn't have done that. And I don't mean, just as Black people, we would not have done that, especially in the deep South like that.
Yeah.
People have had enough.
Yeah.
And so looking at the way we vote now, we're not monolithic. We never have been, but the way we vote, the way we invest, we're doing things differently now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're not trying to help us, and I think you should, I think a person should look out for themselves. That doesn't mean you have to try to harm somebody else in the process now. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference. I can be okay without damaging or destroying somebody else. It can happen. And so I just, and that's when I said, we don't even think the same. All the things that my parents wanted for me, Lord bless, I've achieved that. And I don't have the shackles, or I don't have all of the roadblocks that are as obvious, as they did, And so that's when I came up and I just sat down and I started drawing. And that's when I came up with Wanoa, which means we are not our ancestors.
I like that. Okay.
And this is federally trademarked. This brand, Wanoa, with the chain and the fists.
Yeah.
And there's a break, and which means we're done with that. Yeah, so the term, the phrase goes along with the brand. I didn't trademark the phrase, but the phrase goes along with it. But the design is mine. So I don't know, I can't really call myself an inventor. I'm an entrepreneur. But it's mine.
You can call yourself an inventor because that is something
I
that you
can?
birthed. You birthed that
Really?
idea. You birthed that brand. So you're an inventor.
Sweet. Let's do it. So yeah, so yeah, that's how that came to be. It's not a I shouldn't even have to say this, but I'm going to. This has nothing to do with me hating anybody. It's just saying, me as an African American, I don't think along the lines that you think I do,
Yeah.
And you already know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's where we are with that. And my other company, Evolve Gear, that's when I lost 100 pounds. I used to weigh almost 307 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And I had type 2 diabetes, and I had to lose weight from that.
Okay.
And that's when I started Evolve Gear. And the model for that business is to win, lose fear. And I have that trademarked as well.
Okay.
So you have to do that to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Evolve Gear 2020. So, but yeah, and Wanoa is just the latest one. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's how that came about. That's how that all came about.
So losing the weight and battling type 2 diabetes came Evolve Gear. And Evolve, is there any significance in that brand name? Any meaning?
Yes.
That brand name?
Yes. Evolution of whatever it is you're setting out to do.
Okay.
I've always been a physical person, very competitive. I didn't play football in high school, but we played in the neighborhood. Like to do physical stuff, like to play football, mostly football and weight lift, that kind of stuff. And I ran track for one of the community centers here, just little things like that.
Okay.
growing up, and gained weight. And I come from a family that is diabetic. You think it's never going to happen to you.
Yeah.
You just think that. Well, one day it did, and I couldn't feel my leg. And I said, "Oh, come on!" And I told my wife, I said, "Hey, scratch my leg." I said, "Now don't scrape the melanin off. Just make a point."
Yeah.
So she scratched my leg, and I couldn't feel it like I could the other one. So then I started having pains in places I shouldn't have them. So I went to the doctor, and he said, "Yeah, you're type 2." So they started me on metformin, and he says, "Well, Terry, you're going to have to lose weight." I said, "Okay. What do you suggest?" He said, "Oh, you're going to have to lose at least 50 pounds." I said, "Okay." And he kind of looked at me. I said, "Doctor, it is up to you to advise me. It's up to me to manage my health." He said, "That's absolutely right." I said, "I don't want to be one of those uh, stories that you tell in past tense." And so I lost the 50 pounds, and that was a blessing. And my wife was very instrumental in that, with the way we cooked and everything. We had to start totally over. And so once I
Yeah.
lost 50, I said, "Well, I'm going to see if I can't do 100." They didn't think I could do it. So I went from actually 297 to 197.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, yeah, and my body didn't like that. It screamed at me every chance it got. It,
I'm
it didn't like
sure.
that. So I had to put a little bit back on. So I usually try to stay around 207, 212.
Okay, that's
And
not bad.
that's where it likes that's where it likes it. And
How
so
long did it take you to lose that much weight?
to do it the right way, it took me about 8 months. I mean,
Wow.
that's doing it the right way.
Okay.
That's walking. That's people shoving cookies in your face and you not eating it. And yes, you're gonna have to be rude when you stay on a goal. You just have to tell people, "No, I can't eat that." And me, we live in Nebraska, so chili, cinnamon rolls, and pizza and runzas, they are quite the staple around here. So it's
Okay.
hard to pass that stuff up. And me, I'm a big pecan pie person. So every
Okay.
4 months, maybe 3 times a year, I'll have a pecan pie.
Okay. You seem to be pretty disciplined.
Yeah, I like the way I look in my clothes.
And
I'm
that's what
just,
matters.
I'm just, I'm just trying to, and the missus likes it too. So I guess we're both happy, I suppose.
Awesome. So,
Hmm.
what is your brand doing for you now? Are you working on anything new?
Yes, I am. Right now, my wife and Desiree, we are uh going to try to reach out to some people. Desiree has plans for me to make clothing for some other
Okay,
people.
Desiree.
Um, do you remember Lawrence Hilton Jacobs from Welcome Back, Kotter?
Yes, I do.
I made clothing for him.
Oh, okay.
I sure did. And so
Okay.
she's linked up with all of those people, all of them. So she's got me waiting in the wings to see who's wanting what. And hopefully I will be uh, around some other influencers like yourself. And the goal is to get my clothing out there to just the right people. And, with us, we have to put it in the right hands in the right spots to where
Yes.
people with a certain mindset will gravitate towards it. And so I've got nothing but compliments off of it when people see it because they can't believe what they're seeing.
Yeah.
And so you do have to strike when the iron's hot. What does that mean? That is actually an old like boilermaker term where people, when they would create things out of iron like horseshoes, you have to make sure that you're working when that metal is orange hot to where you can form it. That's where that came from. So I'm trying to just make sure that I am just a part of everything that's going on.
Yeah. Where do you see your brand in the next 10 years?
I hope it grows immensely. Um, both of them, I hope they grow immensely.
I got to
Uh,
stop you, Terry. We don't hope. We don't
yeah,
hope.
yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know
We
just what
speak it
you're saying.
into
And we ha-
existence.
and we have prayed, my wife and I, that it does grow to the point to where it really gains a lot of interest, and that it morphs into something else to make it bring more value.
It looks like it's on its way to just that.
Yes, I do believe it is. I really do. Because people like yourself are seeing it, you know, and you're seeing what it's about, and you're actually hearing firsthand from the creator what
Yeah.
it's about. And I think that's important, you know. Absolutely.
And it's a
Maybe
very
maybe I can
strong
send
brand. That your
maybe I can send you
t-shirt
something.
speaks for itself. I would
Mhm.
love it. I would love it. We could
I
facilitate that through
I have
Desiree. I would
some.
love it.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Yeah, it sends
Thank
quite a
you.
message. Yeah, oh,
It does.
I'd be honored to. I'd be honored to. It's gonna change your
It does.
you're gonna change once you put it on. You're gonna think you're a Marvel character or something from Marvel or DC,
I was
whatever which
just
one you
about to
like.
say I'm gonna go in the phone booth like Clark Kent and come out Superman.
Hey, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, don't jump off of anything, though. Don't do that. Say it's my clothing that made you try to do it. Don't do that.
I promise
If
I
I'm
won't.
not doing it, you better not do it.
I will just
Yeah.
wear it with pride
Oh yeah.
and demonstrate
Oh
that
yeah.
strength, that black strength.
Yeah. You go through her. Tell me what you need. If you want a bucket hat or if you want a trucker cap, like I've got.
Oh, I
I
like
didn't
a
wear the
bucket
bucket
hat.
hat. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because the bucket hat, you wouldn't see my eyes. But I actually have a TikTok page. Um,
Okay.
don't ask me why.
TikTok
I'm
is
trying.
TikTok is where it's
Yeah,
at, especially if you're
I know.
marketing and getting yourself out.
And
TikTok can grow
what
you
I
a
meant
strong audience.
was I'm really trying to be on there and make that grow too. And the only thing is, you know, we have property, so I'm trying to put up a building and all kinds of other stuff. So
Okay.
I'm just trying to make sure that I can give things the time they need. I hate not being able to dedicate time to certain things so that I can make sure that the quality is what it is. And before we go any further, I want to make sure that I thank you for being just so, you know, open and everything
Yes.
and
You're
accommodating,
welcome.
because with my shift, it's very tough. Most people do things much earlier, but thank you for being so accommodating, you know,
No problem. I'm
and
a
allow
working
me to
woman
come on at
too,
this time.
so
Yeah, thank you.
you're
I want to make
welcome.
sure that I tell you thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. You're
You're
so welcome.
welcome.
Absolutely. And I want to thank you for being a guest. I mean, we're not done, but I'm
Oh, we
appreciating the
ain't go. Okay, I
conversation.
want.
We're
Okay,
almost done.
great,
We're
great.
gonna be wrapping it up soon,
Okay.
but I appreciate the conversation, the
I'm
genuineness,
in no
the
hurry.
transparency.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we go, I just want to know what type of advice or words do you have for those audience members that are out there battling type 2 diabetes and struggling with their health? For those audience members that may have been in a, a accident or any type of thing that has been detrimental in life and getting over it and coming out and finding the beauty in their sorrow as you did.
That's a deep question.
Take your time.
And it's kind of multifaceted too, because not everybody's approach is the same. But let's start with the type 2 diabetes. I always have to bring context to what, I'm one of those Kmart kids. And a lot of people are probably not going to remember Kmart, except as older people.
I used to work there.
This is okay. See, this is before Walmart was cracking heads.
Yeah.
See, and then you was really doing something if you went to a super Kmart to where you could go shopping.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember all that. So my mom being diabetic, I had to go with her to the Kmart pharmacy. And at times, depending how she was feeling, I had to help her administer that shot. And remember earlier, I said, you never think it's going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so nobody can bring resolve to you but you.
Yes.
Nothing is going to be handed to you. It's just not. So if it is handed to you, somebody had to sacrifice so that they could just hand it to you. And even with that, it's not going to just work itself. This came from an idea, and God bless it to come to fruition. I did not want that disease to control me. I didn't want to be controlled by something else in life. And so oftentimes we think we don't have to do something to get the results that we want. But when you think that way, then it's probably because it's something difficult that you don't want to do, or you don't want to sacrifice something. I had to do a 760. Sorry. No, it's 720. A 720. Total. I had to do it 2 times. I had to do everything twice because when we would cook the meals and everything, we were using Mrs. Dash and things like that. And I had to cut sodium out. And so if you are struggling with that and you have to go to the doctor, please listen to your physician. Don't go to the physician and then not listen to them.
Yeah.
Because we think we know more than they do. Now, having said that, I'm not knocking people because some people just may not have the strength to do what they need to do. My mom, it was very tough for her to change her ways. And I just don't want to end up like that to where, I only have 4 years and I can retire from my job. I'll be 60 and I want to be able to live freely and not be restricted by anything. And that's what it takes. It takes sacrifice. I would love to eat Cheetos while I'm watching TV, but I can't do that and be healthy at the same time. I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's you really have to have the resolve to change. And as far as business goes, the federal government doesn't do anything for free.
That's true.
I had to pay for this trademark. Well, some people think that maybe there's always some way to get around it. Well, to do things the right way, oftentimes there's not. You're going to have to go straight ahead. I had to sacrifice to do this. My wife helped me immensely, many hours on the road doing this, doing that, making phone calls. And you're going to have to be patient because it may pay off right away. And then again, it may take more steps than what you thought it might. And that is basically that you're going to have to stay the course until you can't. That is
Mm.
just the truth, because maybe you just can't stay the course anymore. Just maybe. And that's what happened to me. I got to the point to where I could not do both, rehabilitate and try to run the business. And I was blessed enough to where I was employed, and it wasn't my sole source of income. And you may have some people who are promising to help you. You may have some people who are making promises to do this or that for you. That you're going to run into that. People who are
Yeah.
close friends who are saying that they're going to do this or that, and they're able to, as far as help promote things, they won't be around. And you're going to have some people who are just jealous of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it, experienced it,
Yeah.
and I let people do them. I let people be who they are, but they have a problem with what you're doing. People are given a gift to dream. That's a gift.
Yes, I agree.
Even our people in bondage, they dreamt of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't take dreams away from people. But I just feel that if I want to be like little Sonya, I'm gonna have to put the work in. We have to keep trying to grow things. And this is how we do it, is by what you're doing right here. And again, I thank you. And see, look,
Yes, sir.
I never thought I would be on podcasts, with the business. I was actually featured on a news channel where they showed me where I had lost weight here
Nice.
locally. They sure did. They came to the house and asked me how I did it, and I was on what was it, KLKN News. Yep. And a lot of people on my job saw me. And so they see that I was sincere about it. And
Yeah.
I know we as Black people, we suffer from a lot of things. And a lot of it is due to our diet.
Yeah.
And me being a 70s kid, I remember me and my nephews, my homeboys, we make that Kool-Aid, and I think we'd probably use half the bag of sugar.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm not even trying to act like my mom and dad used to get so mad, but it didn't taste good unless
It
you
had
know
to
how it
have
was. You
all
go
that
with
sugar.
somebody else,
Yeah.
you was judging people on how that Kool-Aid tastes. And if you go to your friend's house, like, no, y'all don't know how to. Mm-mm, I ain't
It
drinking.
was the same
So
in my
no.
household. And it's funny because we still, up until maybe 5 years ago, we were still making Kool-Aid. And we used to always
Hey,
joke because my husband made the blandest Kool-Aid in the house.
oh, y'all probably about put him out, didn't you? It's like you
Yeah,
want
he's
to
like,
quit
I don't
that.
like all that sugar. I was like, that's the Kool-Aid. The sugar is the
Man, you
Kool-Aid.
can't, man. So in his defense, to a point, I drink Crystal Light now.
I do too.
So now I drink Crystal, and I'm gonna tell you. So me and my wife, she's got this. I don't know. I think she mixes grape and the red punch, and then lemonade.
Oh,
And
that sounds
wow,
good.
you oh man, that's good. And so now I drink diet sodas. I
Okay.
went to a place called Metabolic Research Center, and that's where I had to learn how to eat. And they put me on a diet specific for my health issues. I couldn't believe it. It was tailored to my health issues. Now,
Oh,
again,
wow.
I had to pay for that service, and for the supplements, no, the supplements just assisted me. I put the work in, and Sonya, that's what I was alluding to. There is no pill that is just going to make everything work in your favor.
Mm.
You would just have to put the work in to be successful. And because you're not successful right away, it doesn't mean that you haven't put the work in, because at least you tried. That's just how I see it. Because there's a
I
lot of
love
people out
that.
there that just won't try. They just won't try.
Yeah, they wanted everything instant. And if it doesn't come
This
instant,
is a
they put
true
it down.
sis. This is a true story. It's a true story. It's a true story. I got two of them for you.
Okay.
I was so into drawing when I was a teenager. Um, I believe you probably know what I'm saying. I was very heavy into Top Fuel dragsters.
Okay.
So back in 1984, I drew a picture of a dragster and everybody laughed at me. They said, that looks so stupid. Why would they put that there? The aerodynamics by the wheels. Why would you be encased in that dragster? That looks so stupid. If you Google Top Fuel dragster right now, you will see what I drew 42 years ago. They have aerodynamics in front of the rear tires to deflect the air. They
Oh,
have
wow.
it's the cockpit has a capsule over it to minimize wind drag.
And
That's
you
a
were
true
you were
story.
doing it 40 years ago.
At 14, but I didn't know how to trademark designs
Mm.
at 14. And the other one, this is so true. The the screens that the face shields that they have now as sun visors across uh the football helmets. I
Mhm.
come up with that when I was 17. Oh, that's
Really?
stupid. That'll never work. I was like, yep, 1987. I'll never forget that. And then a few years later, now look, they don't play out there unless they got those visors
Without
on.
them, yeah. Yeah.
I just in rollerblades, I remember coming up with that idea. It's like, man, I said, oh, I couldn't figure out how to make it, how to design them. And then what happened? Somebody came out with them. So I said, you know what? If I have an idea, I better pounce on it.
You
That's
better.
that's where I learned that resolve from. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those are true stories.
Wow.
That's not smoke. That's not hyperbole. That's real. Yeah.
No,
That
I totally believe you. I totally believe
yeah.
you.
Yeah. So that's why now when I have something and I have an idea, that's why now I just go with it. Because somebody else is going to come up with it.
Mhm. And beat you
And
to it.
and there's a lot of us that have done that. And we didn't have the means or the knowledge on how to complete it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the
Cheers to
truth.
completion.
Yeah.
Cheers to
Yeah.
completion.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
And so
Terry,
that's why I am on notes and stuff. Uh-huh.
you have been such an inspiration tonight. You
Thank
have
you.
overcome hurdle after hurdle after hurdle and got a beautiful testimony behind it. And as you said
Yes, ma'am.
before, a lot of people don't make it to give that testimony. So I am so honored to have you on the sofa with us tonight. A
I
survivor
am honored to be here.
who birthed
I'm
beauty
honored to
out
be
of
here.
his struggle, out of his chaos.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
sure there were some moments when you were sitting on that sofa that you wanted to give up.
Yeah,
But as you said, you kept
absolutely.
going. You kept going.
Now, this is the hand that was damaged. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
Wow.
It was I see you don't know what a person's been through. This hand was fractured. It was bad.
Is
I
that your
couldn't move
dominant
it.
hand?
Actually, I'm a drummer and
Oh, okay.
so actually I write with this one, but this one is stronger. I know that
Okay.
sounds crazy. But yeah, this I mean, yeah, I shift gears and everything with this one, and it just I couldn't close it. It hurt to open it. I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to use it again. God showed me mercy. I'm telling you when I say that. I'm telling you when I say that. I'm telling you what the physical therapist, my doctor, they said I shouldn't even be using this hand, the way it was so damaged, but here it is. I'm using it again, and not everybody gets a second chance. And that's
Because you
why I'm
have
just
the
pushing forward.
anointing. You have the
Ain't
anointing.
that's exactly it. That's
Yeah.
exactly it. Trust me, that's it. Trust me,
So
that's
what
it.
they say doesn't
Yes.
matter. Yeah, what the
No.
doctors
You
say,
ever,
it doesn't matter because you have the anointing.
that's why I said now that doesn't mean I'm gonna go out here and stand on the highway and wait for a truck to hit me. Now,
You better not.
some people get the word mixed up.
Yeah.
You don't go out and do silly stuff. Yes, you don't go out and play with snakes either. Just because
Nope.
Paul picked up a snake and throwed it, that don't mean you go out there and jump in a nest of water moccasins. So you got to rightly divide that. That's just a fact. So yeah, and yeah, I can go on and on about that. So I am grateful, and I do hope that I get to come back to your program.
Absolutely.
I would
Once
love
on
that.
the sofa, you always invited back to the sofa.
Am I a couch potato?
You are officially a couch potato.
I don't know how to take that. I'm going to go downstairs and work out after this. Now I'm really going to act up.
You are officially a couch potato. And listen, we want to thank you so much for joining us on the sofa this evening. It has been
Thank you.
a pleasure. We really want you back. So whenever you're ready to come back, hey Desiree, you let me know so we can get them right back on the sofa again. Thank you, Terry. I want you to
You're
keep
welcome. Before we
being.
go,
Yes,
can I share the website address with you?
absolutely. I was just about to ask you, where can we find you?
Yay. www.wanoa.net.
And what about your social media handles?
I'm Terry V Beard on Facebook, and on TikTok, I'm Trouble Man.
Okay, Trouble
That
Man.
guy. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
y'all.
I'm a
Trouble
huge.
Man. Well,
Yep.
you keep being purposeful on purpose. Keep
Yes, ma'am.
growing. And we can't
Yes,
wait to
ma'am.
get you back. Couch potatoes, we out.
I'll
We got shit to do. Bye bye.
oh snap, here we go.